Welcome all in this lecture of statistical mechanics. This lecture is about canonical ensemble. Here we will cover the topics like introduction, canonical ensemble, properties, partition function, significance, thermodynamical parameters of ideal gas using partition function, equipartition of energy theorem, and in this lecture, text and figures of the slides have been incorporated from the book Statistical Mechanics by R.K. Pathria and P.G. Bean. We know that in microcanonical ensemble, fixed parameters for the system are N, E, and V. The total energy E of a system is hardly ever measured. For another, it is hardly possible to keep its value under strict physical control. So the problem in the microcanonical ensemble is this: you can't measure the total energy E very accurately, and it is also difficult to keep the value of E under strict physical control. Fixed temperature T of the system is such a parameter that is not only directly observable by placing a thermometer in contact with the system, but also controllable by keeping the system in contact with an appropriate heat reservoir. So the fact is that if you incorporate a parameter T instead of E, so the parameter T is useful in this sense because the T is directly observable. That is, you can measure the temperature directly. And another usefulness is this, that is, you can control the temperature by keeping the system in contact with an appropriate heat reservoir. The precise nature of the reservoir is not very relevant. All one needs is that it should have an infinitely large heat capacity, uh, so that irrespective of energy exchange between the system and the reservoir, an overall constant temperature can be maintained. So our target is to maintain a constant temperature, and nature of the reservoir is not important. What we have to do, that is, we need an infinite a reservoir of infinitely large heat capacity. So let us consider a system in contact with a reservoir. Now, if the reservoir consists of an infinitely large number of mental copies of the given system, we have once again an ensemble of systems. This time, however, it is an ensemble in which the macrostate of the system is defined through the parameters N, V, and T. Such an ensemble is referred to as the canonical ensemble. So, in microcanonical ensemble, the fixed parameters were N, V, and E, that is energy. But in the canonical ensemble, the fixed parameters are N, V, and T. Here T is the temperature. In the canonical ensemble, the energy E of a system is variable. This point is important, that is, energy is variable. In principle, it can take values anywhere between 0 and infinity. Now, I will discuss the properties of the canonical ensemble. For that purpose, you consider n identical systems sharing a total energy. In identical systems, total energy is E. Here, ER denotes the energy eigenvalues for the system. So you have to note down the meaning of the each parameter. Here, ER is the energy eigenvalues for the system. What is small nr? Nr denotes the number of systems which at any time t have the energy value ER. What is small nr? Nr denotes the number of systems in that ensemble which at any time t have the energy value ER. What is capital U? capital U is equal to E by N. What is E? E is the total energy. What is N? N is the total number of identical systems. So U denotes the average energy per system in the ensemble. PR. What is PR? PR is a probability that at any time t, a system in the ensemble is found to be in one of the states characterized by the energy value PR. What is PR? PR is a probability. Which probability? That at any time t, a system in the ensemble is found to be in one of the states characterized by the energy value here. Now, I will discuss about the mathematical expression of several terms. That is, sum of nr that should be equal to n. Here n is the total number of systems. Sum of nr that must be equal to total number of system, identical system. And sum of nr into er is equal to E, that is the total energy. That is again equal to n into U. U is the average energy. And what is PR? PR is the probability that I have already discussed. So PR is equal to e to the power minus beta ER divided by sum of e to the power minus beta ER. This is the mathematical expressions of the probability. And E by N is equal to U. Here U is the average energy. U is equal to ER e to the power minus beta ER divided by e to the power minus beta ER. So this comes from the expression of the probability, because expression of PR is this one. So you can find the average energy U in this way, that is ER e to the power minus beta ER divided by e to the power minus beta ER. Now I will discuss one important function which is known as the partition function. There is a derivation for the partition function. I am skipping the detailed derivation, just the most important one. Okay, so this one is the expression of U that I have already discussed in the previous slide. That is, U is equal to sum of ER e to the power minus beta ER divided by e to the power minus beta ER. The same expression can be expressed in this way also. That you check this side, and this is minus del del beta ln of sum of e to the power minus beta ER. What is beta? Beta is equal to 1 by kt. So this you can show by simple algebraic manipulation. Again, internal energy U is related to the Helmholtz energy A by this equation, that is U is equal to A plus Ts. This is again is equal to A minus T into del A by del T, and you can also show this thermodynamical equation. So U is related to the Helmholtz energy A. U is equal to, for example, you can express U in this fashion, that is minus T square del del T of A by T. So if you evaluate the expression of A, then you can also evaluate the expression of U. I have already told you that beta is equal to 1 by kt, and we can also show that ln e to the power minus beta er, that is equal to minus A by kt. So to show this, you you have to rearrange this equation. You need some algebraic calculation from these equations, and you can show easily, that is ln e to the power minus beta er, that is equal to minus A by kt. What is A? A is the Helmholtz energy. So A is equal to minus kt ln of this term, that is Qn. I am writing it as Qn. What is Qn? Qn is equal to sum of e to the power minus beta er or e to the power minus er by kt. So Qn is a function. That function I am defining in this fashion, that is, this is summation of e to the power minus beta er or e to the power minus er by kt. So the expression Qn, which is sum of e to the power minus er by kt. This function is known as the partition function. The meaning of the partition function is the sum over states. It comes from a German word. So Qnvt is the partition function. Qnvt is a function of t as observed directly from the expression. You see the expression, there is t. So Qnvt is a function of T, that is temperature. And the dependence of Qn on N and V comes through the energy eigenvalues Er. There is a expression Er, as Er depends on the N and V. So actually Qn depends on three parameters, that is N, V and T. These N, V and T are the parameters which are fixed in the canonical ensemble. So the partition function for the canonical ensemble is a function of N, V and T. As the quantity A, that is Helmholtz energy, is an extensive property of the system, so naturally ln(q) must also be an extensive quantity. Now I will discuss about the significance of the partition function. I have already told you that Helmholtz free energy A is related to the partition function Q by this equation, that is A is equal to minus kT ln. Different thermodynamical parameters are somehow related to the Helmholtz free energy. For example, you can calculate entropy S, pressure P, chemical potential mu, specific heat CV from the expression of A. For example, S equal to minus del A by del T, P is equal to minus del A by del V, and so on. Thus, once we can find the expression of A, we can easily calculate several thermodynamical parameters. Using this procedure, we can easily study several important systems such as ideal gas, linear harmonic oscillator, paramagnetic systems, etc. We should follow the steps. For example, you have to find the expressions of E at first. This is your first step. You have to find the expression of either energy or Hamiltonian. After this, what you have to do, you have to find the appropriate expression of the partition function. So finding Q, that is the expression of the partition function, it is your second step. In the third step, what we will do, we will calculate the expression of the Helmholtz free energy A. How we can find it? Because A is equal to minus kT ln Q. So after finding the Helmholtz energy, then we can find different thermodynamical expression by using this formula. So you can find entropy, you can find pressure, chemical potential, specific heat from this formula. But the expressions of the partition function may be different in different particular cases. For example, if a group of states Gi belong to the same energy state Er, that is Gi is a degeneracy, then Qn can be expressed in this way, that is sum of Gi e to the power minus beta Ei. For example, in classical systems, there is a special expression of partition function. Let us discuss the case. So at first, we have to use the concept of phase space. Whenever we are considering some classical system, so it is better to use the concept of phase space. D omega is equal to D3 and P. D3 and Q is a volume element of the phase space. You know that to describe a phase space, you need position coordinate P and momentum coordinate Q. Why 3n? Because n number of particle and 3 dimension for each. So D3 and P, D3 and Q. This will give you the volume element of the phase space. The number of distinct quantum states in that volume element is d omega divided by n factorial into h to the power 3n. Why n factorial? Because the n factorial term is due to the indistinguishability of the particles, which we have already read in the Gibbs paradox. So you have to divide the volume element by n factorial term, and h to the power 3n is the volume corresponding to one eigenstate. So this will give you, that is d omega divided by n factorial into h to the power 3n. This will give you the number of distinct quantum states. Number of distinct quantum states. So the appropriate expression for the partition function will be 1 by n factorial into h to the power 3n. You are using to get the appropriate number of the distinct quantum states, and integration of e to the power minus beta h d omega. Integration of e to the power minus beta h d omega. Why integration? Why not summation? Because the integration comes due to the fact that energy levels may be assumed continuous in the specified volume. So when energy levels you can think that they are continuous, then you can take the integration. Otherwise summation. Here energy is written in terms of the Hamiltonian H. Previous slide, that is, this is the expression of Qn. So you can calculate A from the expression of Qn. A is equal to minus kT ln Qn. So it will give you this term. After algebraic simplification, you will obtain the expressions of A as this one. So after getting the expressions of A, you can calculate several thermodynamic parameters from the relationship with A. For example, you can estimate the partition functions mu, that is equal to del A by del N. You have to just differentiate this expression with respect to N. You can evaluate pressure P from minus del A by del V. Again, you differentiate A with respect to V, keeping N and T fixed. So you will obtain P is equal to NKT by V, or PV is equal to NKT. So PV is equal to NKT. This is the ideal gas equation. So after this step, you can estimate the ideal gas equation. Again, you can calculate the expression of entropy. S is equal to minus del A by del T, where N and V is constant. Similarly, you can also calculate U, that is average energy per system. So this is equal to 3 by 2 NKT. So you can calculate the several thermodynamical parameters from their relationship with A. Now I will discuss another important theorem, that is equipartition of energy. So there is a formula of expectation value. You can calculate expectation value of a function f in this way. This is the required mathematical expression. Expectation value of f is equal to f e to the power minus beta h d omega. E to the power beta h is the expression for the partition function in canonical ensemble. Integration f e to the power minus beta h d omega divided by e to the power minus beta h d omega. So this one is the mathematical expression for the expectation value for a function f. Now we will determine the expectation value of the quantity xi del h by del xj, where h is the Hamiltonian of the system. What is xi and xj? Xi and xj are any two of the 6n generalized coordinates q and p. Xi and xj are any two of the 6n generalized coordinates q and p. So xi and del h by del xj, that is expectation value of the quantity xi del h by del xj. How we can calculate it? We can calculate it by using this formula. So here f is the value of the f is the xi del h by del xj. You just substitute this expression of f in this formula. So it will be like this, that is xi del h by del xj e to the power minus beta h d omega divided by e to the power minus beta h d omega. Numerator of the above integration can be evaluated by parts. That is, we at first evaluate this integration. That is, at first we will evaluate the numerator. So you have to uh, do this by integration by parts method. You consider the first function as xi. Here is xi. So you consider it as a first function and at first integrate over xj. So what you will obtain? You are considering xi as the first function. So xi into integration of the second. Integration of the second means integration of del h by del x xj e to the power beta h into dx. Why dxj? Because d omega you can consider is as dxi dx, because xi and xj are any two of the section generalized coordinate. Okay, so d omega you can think as it is dxi dx. So at first you are obtaining in this way, that is first function xi into integration of del h by del xj into e to the power minus beta h into dxj. So dxj dxj that will cancel out. Ultimately inside the integration you will obtain integration e to the power minus beta h into del h. Integration e to the power minus beta h del h. Del xj and dxj that will cancel out. So it will give you e to the power minus beta h by beta, and the limit will be xj1 and xj2, the extreme two limits, plus integration of del xi by del xj, because the rule of the integration by parts is that u into v1 plus u prime into v2. U prime means that is first function was xi, so del xi by del xj, and 1 by beta e to the power minus beta is actually what you are doing. You are then integrating this again. So this will be like this: 1 by beta integration del x by del xj e to the power minus beta is dx. And here you are writing d omega j. Why you are writing d omega j? You see, d omega j denotes the d omega devoid of the coordinate dx. Devoid of the coordinate dx. Okay, so as you have integrated with respect to xj, so ultimately this d omega j means that is you have already integrated over dx. So d omega j denotes the d omega devoid of the coordinate dx. So it means actually dx. And here xj1 and xj2 are the extreme values of the coordinates x. Note that at these points h becomes infinite. Actually extreme value means, suppose you are considering a gas in the container. So extreme value of the position coordinates means that is wall of the container. And in the wall of the container, potential energy and momentum both become infinite. So Hamiltonian will also become infinite. So if you consider this, so ultimately the contribution of the second term remains and contribution of first term becomes 0, because you see the value. So if we put the value of the xj1 and xj1 in this function, so ultimately what will happen, that is this function will give you 0, e to the power minus infinite, that is 0. So ultimately contribution of the second term remains. Okay. Now this del xi by del xj, you can write it delta ij, and it is constant, so it comes out of the integral sign, and we are left with 1 by beta delta ij integration of e to the power beta is d. And in the denominator there is again integration e to the power minus beta is d omega. So this this integration factor ultimately cancels out if you consider the denominator. So ultimately the net value, that is expectation value of xi into del h by del xj, it will give you delta ij into kt. This is the net expression. Why kt? Because 1 by beta means kt. So expectation value of xi del h by del xj is equal to delta ij. This expression, that is, there is a summation over g. So the value of a f will depend on non-vanishing j term are there. It may happen that all j term are not giving you the value. So f is the number of non-vanishing j term. It will give you the value of f. Thus, each harmonic term in the Hamiltonian makes a contribution of half kT toward the internal energy of the system. That is, each of the harmonic term Hamiltonian is making a contribution of half kT because it is half f kT. So each term is contributing half kT toward the internal energy of the system, and hence a contribution of half k toward the specific heat Cv. This result embodies the classical theorem of equipartition of energy. For the distribution of kinetic energy alone, the equipartition theorem was first stated by Boltzmann in 1870. Equipartition theorem is not always valid. It applies only when the relevant degrees of freedom can be freely excited. This is very important. That is, it applies only when the relevant degrees of freedom can be freely excited. At a given temperature T, it may happen that there may be certain degrees of freedom which, due to insufficiency of the energy available, are more or less frozen due to quantum mechanical effects. Such degrees of freedom do not make a significant contribution toward the internal energy of the system or towards its specific. So you have to keep in mind that is equipartition theorem is not always valid. It applies only when the relevant degrees of freedom that can be freely excited. So thank you for listening. For further reading, you can check the textbook of R.K. Patria and P. Thank you all.